Coach, it feels like obviously the loss is still what the result says, but it feels like there was a lot of areas where maybe you guys took some steps forward. I feel like, rebounding, only losing that battle by 3 defensively. Just where are you kind of maybe able to take the positives with also still kind of trying to figure out how to score more than 46 points, even if it is Stanford?
Well, again, I don't know. I was probably a little rude on the radio. I mean, I think we, and again, our fan base and the people, I'm not making any excuses. We are who we are. But there's a lot of NIL money on Stanford's roster. And there's a lot of 5-star players. And we're facing that on pretty much everyone we play. And I'm not a good enough coach to make our young players make every shot that they get. So, and I don't want them to feel that pressure. We've got to manufacture shot quality. And I thought we manufactured a lot of great shot qualities tonight and missed them. I think we did that at the last game as well, and we missed them. I don't know. I think we're capable, and it's the right people shooting the ball that we want. I think we are young. I think we're inexperienced. I think we're freshmen and sophomores. I told the team we have one player right now that's played significant minutes for us. One player that has played significant minutes on our roster that was here last year. I mean, Alex is, but isn't playing. So it's not. There's not a pill we can take that makes us seasoned and experienced and ready to compete against bigger, stronger, faster athletes. But I love putting us in that because I love the fight that we finally got. Now, that might be your question. I thought the fight was great. I thought holding them to that 54 points, we didn't do that. We haven't done that in 8 years I've been here. So there's some positives to that. And, I want to score more than 46 points. I've got to find a way that we can get people to call fouls when our kids are getting held all over the court. I think it's unbelievable that LA doesn't get any calls whatsoever. We got to make shots that we're capable of making, but I'm really proud of what we put on the floor tonight, and I think it gives us. Now, I told them the only thing that matters now is how we come tomorrow. If we can show some consistency and have this kind of energy and effort and commitment to doing the things that we have control over, then I think we have a chance to really grow and get better as we move forward. But the problem is freshmen and sophomores tend to, swing high and low, and then you come in and have a bad day tomorrow, and then that sets you back again. So we have to eliminate those bad days, and I think our team is very committed to doing that. And I love coaching this team, and I think we have a chance to be playing really good basketball later in the season.
You talk about obviously some of the youth. I mean, how do you kind of find that balance, knowing that there's going to be nights? Stanford, I mean, we've seen them do this many a times where they take away the top scorer. It's happened, obviously, in the past when you've been here. But what is it about kind of maybe finding that balance to where it doesn't just have to be LA, and that if she only gets 10 points, it's not going to result in 44 or 46, excuse me?
Yeah. I mean, I think, again, getting a little healthy might give us a little bit more bench and things like that. Shasha has to score for us. I thought she was way better today. Made a couple of shots. I think she can put points on the board. Key really can. I mean, she's probably the one that, I hate because I think she got every look she wanted tonight and didn't make them. And Shasha's was last game. So, but again, those are kids that they couldn't work harder. They couldn't be in the gym more. They couldn't work on their footwork to get those exact shots. And just didn't go in tonight. So we got to spread it around a little bit. What's the number? Well, if you're even with Stanford almost on the boards and you don't give up, fast break points, which we didn't, then chances are, we can hold them down a little bit. And if we can continue to do that, that's going to be a great thing for us and give us a chance even if we can't, even as we try to figure out some extra people scoring. I thought we made some bad turnovers. I thought we had possessions where we were right there and would have a turnover. I thought, as good as Malia was, she forced a shot when she probably just needed to do an in and out for a 3. But again, you're asking freshmen to be perfect right now, and they're not yet.
You talked about it a little bit, just come with the first question, but just, how inspired are you to some degree just by the kind of the fight and the scrap? I mean, we've seen games like this in the past against Stanford get away and end up looking, rough on the scoreboard. This is the closest you guys have been to Stanford in over 10 years. Just what does it kind of say about those freshmen and sophomores and the young players that they're still, getting on the ground, diving for loose ball? I mean, even the last minute.
Last one.
To games, more than decided, but Tanya's on the ground. I mean, where do you think that can kind of lead you from here in terms of what the team can become?
Well, I mean, I am glad you recognize that. And, I'm kind of telling them to back off. And it's just not in some of our kids' DNA. They are really competitive. They really want to win. They are heartbroken that we can't win. It's just a gut punch to them. And that's why I think we have a chance. And so, I'm disappointed. Should we have pulled off a couple of wins? Absolutely. Were we ready? I guess not. We weren't ready. So we've learned some really hard lessons in the first 3 weeks of the season, and I think that's going to benefit us because of the character that we have on the team and the competitiveness, and the kids that just want to win. They're not in it for individual glory. They want to win, and if we can just bottle that up and continue to try to find ways to put people in position to get some quality looks, I think we have to live with that. I mean, they're huge. We're 36-12 in paint points. Like, what are we supposed to do? I want to throw it into the paint, but we're undersized there. So then that means you got to shoot a little bit better from the perimeter, and then we didn't. And it's just and then next game we need to score in the post. I think the big thing right now with Alex out, we just have to go, and Lauren, we got to get good when we're little. Like, we got to play small, and that's going to be fine in our league. To play small. It's not so good against Stanford. So, but I think because we're going to have to learn to do some of those things, it's going to make us more versatile and better and more prepared, later in the season. And then we're going to have, our people back in. So we just we gotta find different ways to win the game, and we got to find different ways to score. So, and next time we're going to be putting our thumb in the hole and on rebounding again. So it's like a constant. We got to keep hold of what we did in this game in those intangibles and those work ethic phases.
Coach, just what have you seen from Malia to this point in the season? First start tonight and seemed really comfortable, came out really well. Just what have you seen from her 4 games in? She's
hilarious and she's great, and she's a great kid to coach because she just wants to be coached. And you can get mad at her and she just smiles and just goes, I know, she's so stupid. She's just got the response of it. I like, players, some players you get on them and they just, it's like stabbing them in the heart, and then and they can't get out of that, or they get too wrapped up in a mistake. Not even if you get on them or not, they get too wrapped up in a mistake. And she's really good at just moving on and dealing with it and knowing she's got to be present for the next thing. Do we need to get her in shape better? Yes. Does she need to be able to, sustain some of that stuff? But she's really made big strides, and I love her confidence to be able to step out and take shots in a game like this and compete in a game like this.
How do you plan to build on what you saw tonight and in preparation of your guys' next game?
Yeah, I mean, I think the things that we told them before the game, and I've kind of mentioned it here, is we got beat in Trans D embarrassingly in the first 3 games. And we got beat on the boards embarrassingly in the first 3 games, and we turned the ball over. Not awful, but pretty awful. And talent, that doesn't take talent, those 3 things. So we need some talent to score the basketball and to make hard shots and to do all of that. But those 3 areas, if that becomes a consistent, we're always going to transition D great. We're always going to, we're going to really be better with the ball. We're always going to compete better on the boards. If we can get those things just shored up, it's always going to be us. Then I think we can manage getting better on the offensive end and things like that. But I just want us to control those things that we can control. So that's what we're going to really keep focusing on as we, again, try to find some points in other spots on the floor than just 1 or 2 or 3 players. Again, we got to get 4 and 5 people in double figures, and obviously not doing it right now. Appreciate it. Thanks. Go Cougs.